everyone, Debbie here, welcome to my channel or welcome back. So today's video I'm excited to do, so it's going to be a tag video. I've not done one for quite a little while, so I saw Danielle Schmidt do this tag and knew I wanted to do it as soon as I saw it. The tag wasn't created by her, it was created by Dolly Mama Beauty or Amy, so I'll link Amy's channel down in my description box and also Danielle's channel and her video, which is where I found this tag. But the tag is the makeup techniques tag, and I thought it was an interesting one to do because I've been playing with my techniques quite a bit just lately and I've got a few thoughts on the questions. So not got my glasses on today, but so you don't have to, or my contact lenses in, but so you don't have to see me in my glasses and you can appreciate my makeup look that I put on with the Jeffree Star Blue Bloods this morning. I've not filmed it, but I quite like the look today, so I thought I'd leave my glasses off, but I will have to keep looking at my phone quite closely, so apologies for that, but let's get started. Okay, so number one, what technique do you do that you see no one else but yourself doing? I think I start off, my look's a bit strange, so I always create, if I'm going to do a wing, I always create, if I don't have tape down, a bit of a line here with either a pencil brush or a really fine tip lip brush. And that's probably something I do. I use lip brushes as eye brushes quite a bit. I don't see people do that. But I have to give myself a guiding shape. So I can't just take a bigger blending brush and start. Or I do that, but it's never a very good outcome if I do that. So don't see many people doing that. I do see people using the tape, which I do. Don't see too many people doing the shadow wing either. So they're probably things, the way I do my sort of winged out shape for my shadows, perhaps a different technique to others. Number two, what technique, if any, do you think is unnecessary? Danielle said baking. I would totally agree with that. I think it looks great if you're, your 20s, early 20s and you're wearing a full face of makeup. It can look flawless. For me, it's obviously not going to work. Unnecessary, I think as well, is tight lining. I've never done it. I know it kind of makes your eyes look sort of more vivid and blacker, but I don't really think there's that much space to cover it. If you've got good eyeshadow on, it will detract from looking there. I don't think people are sort of going, let's see if I can see up in her eyelids and see if there's any liner there. So that's pretty unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. So number three, what technique do you think is totally ridiculous? Nothing's really ridiculous in my eyes because makeup is all about playing with your look and, doing things that are perhaps a bit ridiculous and seeing what happens as a result of that. So makeup washes off, makeup is there to be enjoyed. So I don't really think anything's ridiculous. I think it's all in the eyes of like the person and what they think is beautiful. I personally don't like really big blocky brows, so brows that sort of almost look like they meet in the middle and they're a proper harsh line here and super black if you've like got maybe fairer complexion. They just kind of stand out so much and attract attention, but maybe not for the right reasons in my eyes. But if people think they're beautiful and they can rock them, then fair play to them. So I think nothing's ridiculous as long as you can rock it with a smile and it's your vibe. Okay, number four, this is what technique looks good on others but doesn't flatter you? Well, I'm not the biggest fan of the halo eye because I've got quite narrowish sort of eyes, I think. So I fake having bigger lids than I do when I do my cut creases by cutting them higher. But I've got quite sort of narrowish shape there, which is where I prefer like the more winged out shape. And if I try and create a halo eye, the creases in my eyes, obviously from my age, and in fact everything's drooped down a bit, kind of hides the halo. So I want to be able to do it, but I don't think that the technique of like, cutting your lids in the middle there works for me. I can cut the inside edge there quite well because I've got plenty of space there, but when it gets to the middle, like those folds of skin are kind of stopping it showing, so I can't get it sharp enough and it just doesn't suit me. So that would be my answer for that one. So it just doesn't really flatter my eye shape, I would say, but I do love halo eyes and I will try and make them work for me, but they just really don't. Okay, number five, what technique, if any, freaks you out? So already mentioned this one. and that's tight lining. When I see people do it and their eyes sort of are rolling back in their head while they're doing it, and I have to turn away or fast forward. Literally, it turns my stomach to see it. I just can't watch it. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Number 6, what technique application trend needs to come back in style? I think it is coming back in style, but blush as contour I think is absolutely beautiful. It's what we did a lot of in the 80s because there wasn't contour and there wasn't really bronzer to my knowledge. So I love blush anyway, and I tend to go on the more blushy side when I contour in any case, if I do contour. So yeah, blush as contour, love to see that coming back, and I think it is beginning to, which is fab. So number 7, if you have one makeup technique that you prefer to skip in your makeup routine, what would it be? Brows, I think. If I could miraculously just have brows and not have to ever touch them again, if I could have them, say, microbladed or something. I'm too much of a baby to ever get a tattoo or to do it. But yeah, well, I'm not the best at brows. They come out different every day. I can never really get them to look how I want them to look. I've watched a million brow tutorials to try and perfect my technique. Some days they just go perfect and I'm like, yeah, I've got it, and then the next day they look kind of like they do today and not so great. So yeah, brows. If I could skip brows and they just miraculously appeared, that would be amazing. Okay, number 8 then. Name a specific technique you learned from an influencer or artist that you've adopted into your routine, and who is that influencer or artist? Oh, there's a couple of things that I've learned from, well, there's lots that I've learned from other people. I've learned everything on YouTube from other people, really. I would say I love watching Atleeey's channel, Ash, and my lip brush, the L301 from Urban Decay, I learned how to use that as a lower lash line brush by watching her channel. So, and the other one is how to do wings, and I don't do them in the way that this person does them, but it got me to understand my eye shape and how to do it, and that's Biohazardousbeauty. So if you don't watch Victoria's channel, I will link her below actually, because she's a massive inspiration for some of my more gothy looks. She's definitely on the goth side of makeup, but how she does her wings, because of her eye shape, she sweeps them up into like a sort of circle. And I started to think, I watched everybody else do them and they do them pretty much the same way, and then when I saw that I was like, you can adapt how you do this to your eye shape, and it was the first time like the penny really dropped for me. Also, the other thing that she was doing a lot of is using loose shadows, using patting sort of motions to get them to stay, and just watching her application style, how she would build up a kind of neutralish kind of crease first, just with a kind of greyy or pinky contour shade, and then packing these beautiful impactful loose shadows on her lids, but using packing motions. Definitely inspired me, and I still use those techniques to this day. So I learned a hell of a lot from her channel and still continue to do so, and every time she drops a video, which isn't quite so frequently now, she does other things like hiking videos, vlogs, vegan, what she eats in a day, that kind of thing. But whenever she drops a tutorial, I'm on it as soon as she does it, because I absolutely love her makeup style. Right, what technique, if any, do you wish you could do but never try because it seems too complicated? So really for me, that's applying false lashes. I just can't do it, guys. I've bought several different types of lashes and I must be doing it wrong, but I've watched lots of tutorials on it, but they just feel like they're digging in the centre of my eyelid, so there's space there. Or if I cut them, then they're too short there and I've got this silly gap. And then halfway through the day, they start to like feel like they're falling off, so I'm pushing them back on constantly. One time I tried them, I got a bit of the lash glue as I was taking them off. A little bit of rubbery lash glue went in my eye and stuck to my eyeball, which is super scary. So for the longest time I wouldn't try again. So it just seems a lot of a faff to do, and I think I love them on other people, and if I could nail it, I absolutely would wear them. But then I think it is nice to let your eyeshadow have a moment, and sometimes lashes can hide all the brilliant work that you've done. I know there's lots of different shapes and things, so you can choose the ones that flatter your look, but sometimes I think you've got to be a lot more precise with your shadows if you're not hiding it with lashes. So I'm all about that, and I think quite a lot of people don't wear lashes, so it's nice for them to see that you don't have to and you can still create an amazing look. But having said that, for my neutral days, if I was just, you know, just bringing something quite neutral in my crease, I'd love to have some fluttery lashes to sort of make it look like I've made the effort. So I will continue to do it, but I am not sure I'm ever going to master it. Maybe I should do a video of me trying to put them on and failing miserably so that you can all have a laugh. There's a few techniques I can't do, so maybe I could do that. I can't cream contour either, so can never get it to blend out. It looks awful. Maybe I'll do that. So moving on to question number 10. Other than eyeshadow application, what makeup technique do you find the most satisfying? Really, eyeshadow is what I enjoy doing, so this one's tricky. I always love how once you've done your highlight, it kind of just like makes your face come to life and just brings out your cheekbones. Like, I think I've got quite a roundy sort of face before I've kind of put some blush and a bit of contour in there, just in this bit here. And even when I've done that, it still doesn't really come to life. And then just the whole sparkly beautifulness of highlighters. I've got so many highlighters, which are essentially just the same thing really, but I still keep collecting them because I love them so much. And just the one I've got on today, it's got a bit of a kind of bluey shift to it, which was out of the Anastasia Moonchild. I just love colourful highlights, just love applying them and seeing my face come to life really, and that you can use them as eyeshadow too. So I'm sneaking a bit of eyeshadow application into this question because that is what I love the most. Okay, number 11 then. What eyeshadow technique do you wish you could master? The full cut crease for sure. So I've tried it several times, and I'm going to use the excuse that I used earlier with the halo eye, and it is just me not being any good at it really, but I'm going to use that excuse. So basically, I don't know what to do when I get to there. So people seem to flick it out, but that isn't kind of the natural shape of my eyes. They kind of go down there. So I'm like, what do you do with this bit? And then how do you fill in from there to there? I just can't figure that out. I think I could get the shape down. I'd probably map it out with a light pencil first and then cut it maybe, and then fill shadow over the top. I don't know. I think I'd be able to get the shape, but it's just what to do with the bit underneath and how to like match up your lower lash line when you've then got this sort of floating bit that is like not filled in with anything. I don't know. I just can't quite get my head around how it works, because your eyes don't cut upwards, or they don't for me, they cut downwards. So if anyone's got any tips to help me with full cut creases, and I think that one would be a great one with the lashes and the contour and the what else can't I do? All of that stuff. Might do a video on that because I think that could be super funny. Okay, number 12. What technique do you think is great but you feel too lazy to do? Well, makeup is what I love to do, so I wouldn't say I'm too lazy to do any steps in makeup really. I don't do primer because it's just a step that you can't see. And skincare really I don't do. I'm too lazy to be thinking about what potions do I use with this and that, and I think I've been reasonably lucky in that my skin stayed reasonably well preserved. I've got my mum's amazing genes to thank for that. She's in her 80s, and when she applies some makeup, she doesn't do it quite so much these days, but she can still look really amazing. So I'm lucky in that respect that my skin has stayed smooth, particularly on my cheeks and whatever. But I am starting to get quite a lot of lines around my eyes here, and I probably should be doing all this skincare and whatever, and I just too lazy to even research into what I need to do, what would suit my skin. Don't really want to mess with the balance of it because I don't ever get breakouts and everything's fine. And I know a lot of people, they try one skin product, it breaks them out, they get redness, etc. So I don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, take my makeup off and go to bed. I don't want to be thinking about doing lots of other steps. So it's not a makeup step, but it's kind of linked, and I think it kind of answers the question. So that's everything in the makeup techniques tag. Super fun one to film, and I think I struggled a bit to answer some of the questions, so I hope I wasn't stumbling over it too much. I was kind of thinking on the fly, and sometimes that's really difficult because you've got so many answers for one question. So I'll stick a few answers into one though, because it's my channel, so I'll do what I like. But if you enjoyed it, then give it a thumbs up for me, and if you're new here and you like what you've seen in this one, or you want to see some of my crazy eyeshadow applications that I've done recently, then I would love it if you would subscribe and be part of my little online family here. Thank you so much to Danielle for doing the video, because that's where I saw it, and also to Dolly Mama Beauty for creating it. As I say, I'll link both of them below. But that's all for today, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye.